And now WebOfCinema.com presents an interview with a serial killer.
So, who are your inspirations?
Well, really, I draw from a nice pool of inspiration. I mean, being a serial killer, it's not just...
The Bay River Butcher, right?
Yeah, the Bay River Butcher, exactly. That's the people named me. But it's not just, you know, serial killers. Like, I have my for Jack the Ripper, H.H. Holmes, Ted Bundy, but I also have, like, Meryl Streep, Danny Glover, real people that really kind of, like, really round out the culture of America, and it really makes me feel really kind of accepted about who I am.
Huh. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Actually, I was going to be a ballet dancer. I was very good. I was, you know, I wore the shoes. I did the tipping. I did the tipping of the toes across the stage, and it was really a magical experience. But then my teacher told me I was no good, and I took an axe to his face. Blood was everywhere. It was amazing. I'm sorry. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right, sir. What do you think of the serial killer business today?
Now that's an interesting question because I just finished one of my favorite movies, Julie and Julia, and I turned the channel and there was a show called Dexter. I don't normally watch new TV, and it was kind of alright. I was like, it's a serial killer. I'm like, oh great. And it's like, he only kills bad guys. I'm like, so he's the Punisher? No, he's a serial killer, but he's only killing bad guys, so he's a Punisher. But he's a fascination with blood, so he works in nobody. Apparently, somebody who works in the FBI, nobody's gonna catch. I don't know the logistics. It's just a gay show. And the actor sucks. But then the name came.
Bay Harbor Butcher.
Bay Harbor Butcher. I'm the Bay River Butcher. I've been around for 46 years to get that name, and that son of a bitch took it from my show, and I took the fucking.
Vampires. I've been a slave to vampires for 30 years.
Everybody, Spidey here with a special World of Comics 31 Nights of Fright edition. Now, I read a lot of books, comic books and graphic novels. This is just my initial collection. Over here, I have an assload in boxes and stuff. Now, since we're talking about Halloween and horror, I thought we'd talk about something sort of in relation to it. Now, those looking at this fine mini collection here may think, The Walking Dead. But no, that's actually covered in the history of zombie culture. No. What we're talking about, what we gotta talk about, is this one right here. Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter.
Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator.
We all grew up with this idea of Lincoln in our heads. Honest Abe.
The top hat.
7 years ago.
But what if everything we know about Lincoln is wrong? What if our earliest grade school memories of Honest Abe are nothing more than a patchwork of half-truths and omissions?
Abraham Lincoln, in addition to being our greatest president, was also one of the most gifted vampire hunters of his day.
This startling claim is the subject of his new book, aptly titled Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Graham Smith claims that he learned the truth of Lincoln's lifelong battle with the undead when he was given a glimpse of secret journals.
In the time that I spent with the journals, I came to believe something that would have sounded insane to me before.
And that would be?
That vampires exist and that Abe Lincoln hunted them.
Now I know what some of you may be saying, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, what a retarded title. And indeed it is. That's the reason why I got this book. The title was so dumb I just couldn't help it. I was walking through a Walmart and I saw it. And I was like, no way. And I couldn't believe it. That and I saw that Twilight was turned into a graphic novel, which is something else I can't believe. But this is all talent involved in this as opposed to Twilight, which is, you know, the art was nice, but it's still a horrible story. Or not even a story. But anyway, back to this. I saw this and I couldn't believe that it had such a ridiculous title. And I opened it and I read it, basically a synopsis to see what it was. And it was basically, yeah, the history of Abraham Lincoln, but with vampires, and that's what it is. It's from the Seth Grahame-Smith, from the guy who did Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and another book, I believe, but I'm not fully sure. But two of them are monster mashups, this one being with vampires. It's what you would learn in a general history class for a Civil War or Abraham Lincoln's life. But in the backdrop, there are vampires, or the reason for everything is vampirism. And Abraham Lincoln was one of the world's greatest vampire hunters. This is written as if it was real, and it chronicles Abe's life and his adventures, all from vampire hunting as a kid all the way to his political life, to his assassination. I thought it would be a dumb book, but I needed to read it because, like I said, the title is just so retarded. And it was actually a really, really good book. And it's going to be turned into a movie, and I just cannot freaking wait. But I mean, I absolutely love this book. It was so it was just great. And this features my favorite vampire protagonist, and Seth Grahame-Smith completely brings back vampires with this book. Does an excellent job. Like I said, the pictures in here are taken from what's supposedly the real diaries. Remember, it's not real. Of Abraham Lincoln. If I could just get to a photo. These are really real photos that are photoshopped, except this one's not real. But there's one in the back, I know, that's very famous, with Lincoln talking to a war general, and they put an axe in the picture, if I could find it, which I am having trouble finding. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Bingo. This is where he's talking to one of his generals, McClellan. And because I was so interested in Lincoln even more after reading this book, I actually took a Civil War class in college. And yeah, they showed this picture. This picture's real, but of course, in it, I don't know if you can see it, he's holding an axe because he believed McClellan was a vampire. The picture's real, but it's doctored for you to see the axe. And they have those type of things there to like solidify the fact that, hey, maybe there are real war journals. And there are actually like little trailers and stuff that make it seem real. It's a really fun book and a very fun read, and I should have turned off my cell phone. It's probably my staff member, Fred. And you may have noticed that this book is becoming really popular in the New York Times and the bestsellers list, and it's also on Kindle. I'd highly suggest getting this book. It's really fun, entertaining, and a really good read, and it brings back vampires. So yeah, go get it. Kicks ass. Henry Sturgis for the win.